Hey loves, and welcome back to a Healthy Me Food Testing 101, the results. So I recently got back the results from the blood test for the food sensitivity, and in this video I'm going to discuss with you what those results were, and then also how they compared or contrasted to the blood type diet itself that I have been on for a few weeks now. And so I want to be able to go over the results with you, share my views and opinions on both the blood test and the blood type diet, and then how I'm going to incorporate those into my daily life. So thank you for joining me, and stick around for more information. And as always, welcome to my reality. Okay, so the results. So recently, like I said, I've received my results for the blood testing for the food sensitivities, and I was really surprised. Because here's why. A few of the foods that are on this list, I personally know I have some kind of sensitivity to it. Now, what could be quoted or classified as a sensitivity might actually be an allergy, which this test does not test for. It does not test for allergies. It's only sensitivities. And so those are two different types of tests. So maybe it could be beneficial for me to eventually actually go to an allergist and be tested for food allergies. However, based on these test results, I was really surprised though how different they were from the blood type diet for me. For example, on the blood type diet, I can pretty much have any kind of mushroom I want. For blood type Bs, I can have pretty much any kind of mushroom I want. However, on the food sensitivity, that was one of my highest sensitivity level foods. So the way that the sensitivity test works, let me go back and recap for you. You have four different levels, and so you go from no sensitivity really at all to mild, then you have moderate, then you have severe. Now, the good news is that I have no foods on the severe list whatsoever. Mushrooms come in at the moderate level, about midway through moderate, so it's pretty high for me. I have about 28 foods on the mild list, and dairy or cow's milk is number one on that list. So it's right below the threshold line for mild versus moderate. It's like right there. So I definitely need to get rid of cow's milk, and I know a lot of vegans out there are going, yes you do, you should have done it years ago. And really that's what I've been told by estheticians and also some doctors, that's what is causing all of this breakout. Mostly is because an excess of dairy or cow's milk in my diet, because my body is just not being able to break it down anymore, and that's why it's becoming worse and worse as I age, because I do know that the enzyme that you need to break down those proteins and the basically lactic acid or so that's in, or lactose that's in the cow's milk, you can't do that. It kind of goes away as you age. You don't no longer have that ability. So I'm going to have to seek alternatives, and if any of you have an alternative, please leave below in the description or the comments below, because I would love to hear from you, like what you do. Some people just don't do any kind of dairy at all, whether it's, nut milks or, alternative milks. They just leave it out completely. For me, I will say though, that's going to be hard to do, because I was born and raised on dairy. I live in Wisconsin, of all places, which is like the dairy capital of the states, okay? If you've never heard of Wisconsin, we're called cheeseheads for a reason. So that being said, I am going to need to find an alternative to that. Other things that I was sensitive to according to my blood test that I keep referring to, that's why I keep looking off screen, were a lot of the nuts, which not surprising. A lot of people have allergies to nuts, peanuts, almonds, cashews. I was sensitive to all of them. So I'm going to have to eliminate those. I believe pecans were okay for me still, and walnuts were still good for me. So I could have those two, which is a good thing. And that also correlates with the blood type diet. I could have walnuts and pecans on the blood type diet as well. So that was the same. Now, the big ones that really threw me, that were completely different, were some of the meats. Chicken, number one, because people who know about the B type for the blood type diet, chicken is the number one no-no. We cannot have it because apparently what happens is the proteins and the enzymes in the actual food of the chicken will cause our blood to thicken. Chicken will cause it to thicken. I said that. Yes, I did. So basically what happens is it causes your blood to not flow as freely. So therefore you're not getting oxygen to certain parts of your body, and it causes extreme fatigue after you eat it if you're a B type blood. Thus the idea of it. So with that being said, according to my blood test, however, chicken was fine. Like hardly any sensitivity. Now, keep this in mind, and I think I might have said this in the last video, but because I have eliminated chicken primarily from my diet for the past 3, almost 4 weeks before I did the test, it could have been that I didn't have a lot of chicken built up into my system, so therefore it wasn't as reactive because it really wasn't in my system. So that's another thing to keep in mind with these test results. A lot of the things that are happening probably I'm not reacting to because I don't have a lot of them in my system as is. So, which makes me think that peanuts especially though are very high on my reactive list, because I know for a fact I have not eaten peanuts or peanut butter in almost 4 weeks, and it was still fairly high on my list. So that kind of makes me kind of second guess a little bit. So that being said, but there are several other things, such as I think I mentioned in the last video, black pepper. I know I'm sensitive to black pepper because I get heartburn every single time I eat it. I know I'm sensitive to it. But that was very low on my blood test list for sensitivities. And I'm going, what? Tomatoes, not even sensitive to remotely. And then what else? It was, the other one, cinnamon, however, was on my mild list. So again, both the blood type and the blood test do agree with that cinnamon is not good for me. And when I say not good for me, it's not like it's bad for me. It's just my body reacts differently to it. So just something I have to eliminate, and that's okay. That's okay. Again, none of these foods are just like dire. Again, the dairy is going to be the hardest one for me to overcome, but I can do it. So at the end of the day, what am I going to do? Well, I think number one, listen to my body. Listen to intuition. That's what this channel is kind of all about. It's about spiritual guidance. It's about listening to yourself. It's falling in love with yourself. It's trusting yourself. So my body tells me coconut's fine for me. Avocados are fine for me. Certain fish are fine for me. Even though it says I can have beef all day, I still think a lot of the meats are harder to digest. It just is. I'm not going to eliminate beef. I'm not going to eliminate meat, but I'm definitely going to cut back on it. Eat a lot more raw vegetables. I'm starting tomorrow, which will be another part of the series, the celery juicing, where you just drink 16 ounces of pure celery juice every morning on an empty stomach. And I've heard so many wonderful things about that. So I'm going to do another video on the celery juicing. I get my juicer in either today or tomorrow. So I'm excited, but a little not so much, because you can't dilute the celery juice with anything, whether it be other fruits or vegetables or water. You have to drink it straight, and you have to drink it fresh, which is fine, but that means clean up every single morning. But if any of you know me out there, I just hate cleaning. I love cooking, but I can't stand cleaning. So, but anyway, it's a mild price to pay. So, but if any of you have done any of these diets, whether it's the celery juicing, the cleanse, the blood type diet, or if you've actually taken the Everlywell food sensitivity test or any of the other Everlywell testing, please comment below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your results were. I want to hear whether or not you agreed with the results with the blood type test, or blood type diet, excuse me. I want to know how your results are, if you feel better, if you've lost weight, how your skin is doing. and especially people on the celery juicing. I can't wait to start this and join you guys on that journey, because the results I'm seeing from this are remarkable. People with like severe skin irritations, acne, a lot of people are losing weight on it. They're helping with joint pain, arthritis. People with various autoimmune diseases are actually helping those symptoms. So I'm really excited to start this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you would, make sure you like and subscribe down below. I would love to have you follow me on this journey. It's going to be a fun one, and there's a lot more coming up this year. Already in the works with a few collaborations with several of my friends that are anywhere from life coaches, love coaches, positivity speakers, public speakers, people who work with children, people who put on various events, and so many more. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with us this year. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.